So don't change the background just yet. Just leave the open as the background. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Freak Nation. Cole Cusimano, mainlining whatever the hell you've got right now. What is that now?
It's Alani. Rainbow Sherbet Alani. It's really good.
The hell it is. 8 seconds. All right. 5, 4, 3.
I enjoy others singing karaoke, but no, I don't partake in much of that. Maybe my head.
I just feel the same feeling. So it's great that it's finally May. It's finally happening, and I couldn't be more excited.
When I show up to a NASCAR race, I want it to feel NASCAR. And when I go to a Formula One race, I sort of know what I'm getting into. I want it to feel Formula One. And I hope people have a sense of what an IndyCar race is.
I mean, you guys know my dad, right? He's kind of a hard ass. And so he'd get in my face. I'm 6, 7 years old. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Game.
On the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. Rock on, baby! I am serious. Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, if you caught that open, you see two of the world's greatest race car drivers, and we're going to help you determine who's the best between Alex Palou and Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson with his third win of the season, the NASCAR Cup Series, and Alex Palou with his how many wins there, Crash Gladys, hanging out in Indianapolis? Yes. When you're hearing comparisons of Alex Palou to A.J. Foyt and Unser and Andretti and everybody else that's kicked ass in open wheel at such a young age, what you're not hearing with Kyle Larson, you're not hearing Kyle Larson being compared to the Richard Pettys, to the Yarboroughs, to the Allisons just yet, or the Jimmy Johnsons. But you still hear people like Cole Cusimano and his right side buddy.
Oh my okay, hello.
I almost went into something really silly there. Cole Cusimano's buddy, Cody, claiming that Kyle Larson's already, he's only won one championship, yet you bastards continue to say he's the GOAT.
It's kind of a running joke now with Richie, honestly, but you got to admit, he has got to be the baddest man on four wheels. Come on.
He's got to be the best what?
The baddest man on four wheels.
The baddest?
Baddest. The baddest. I got the New York accent in there. Sorry. The baddest. The baddest.
So that's
the baddest.
So that's where we're going in this next 2 hours extravaganza, man. We're going to try to decipher English between at least two out of the four of us here in the Freak Nation. Be sure you follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram. We are live on YouTube, Facebook Live. And then if you missed any of the show, you can catch us tomorrow on the Racer Network, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. We're going to hear from Kyle Larson coming up in moments. We're also going to hear from Alex Palou. We're also going to hear from Josef Newgarden and a gentleman who we said this Wednesday, who I would have no problem with this guy winning his ass off. I'm talking about Harrison Burton, who was in the playoffs last year for the 2024 Cup Series, was booted out of his ride. What's he do now? Well, he goes into the Xfinity Series and kicks some ass with AM Racing, and it's sitting in the top 10 in points. He's going to join us here in the Freak Nation because of Full Speed, which debuted last week on Netflix. He's part of that as they follow the 2024 playoff season in the NASCAR Cup Series. Again, Kyle Larson, 3 wins of the season. Christopher Bell, 3 wins of the season. Denny Hamlin, 2 wins in the season. Richie, Cole, Crasher, what about all this GDAM parity they keep talking about when Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson have half the wins for the 2025 season? Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oof, that's rough. Yeah, no, I mean, I was actually saying this a month or two ago, too, that I feel like maybe with this next-gen car, it's the 4th season now, teams are catching on to it, drivers are catching on to the tendencies of how they race, and that's why you're seeing more multi-race winners. Like you said, Kyle Larson now has 3, Christopher Bell has 3, you got Denny Hamlin and William Byron with 2 each, so it could be just the field catching up to it.
Richard C. Suave, when you have a guy like Kyle Larson that looks like he's figured this freaking car out, and I know where Richie's going to go, still hasn't won a super speedway. Let's just leave that aside there, Richard C. But when you got a guy that's starting to figure out this next-gen car like Kyle Larson, okay, he's already figured the damn thing out. Is there anything else that NASCAR could do other than throwing those ghost cautions that they did 15 years ago to stop a run like this and provide us some entertainment on the track for those that are in agreement that we thought this was an average race?
So I missed the portion of Holler Talk this week, surprisingly, where Mike Ford mentioned that there is a horsepower increase that's on the table that they might do at some point, whether that's later this year or next year. He didn't really specify, but he's like, oh, yeah, it's on the table. We're talking about it. And I wonder if that isn't the first thing that you change, and maybe things kind of liven up a little bit in terms of that parity, which we loved so much during the first 3 years of this next gen car, right? Yeah. Even last year, I would say we got a really great season out of that Gen 7 car last year. And then for whatever reason, 2025 has just fallen off a cliff. And now that I think seemingly everybody's kind of caught up, and they've taken this car as far as it can go now. And it's up to NASCAR to make the changes. And I don't know if they're going to do that anytime soon. It's unfortunate.
Just as nuts because of what's the word I'm looking for? These big pieces of weight that they're driving around. They're just plain crap. It's both series have a lot of issues going on, and change is needed yesterday.
Cole, you have Alex Palou, that is, and again, we're going to get to Crasher's mic issues. We understand that she's got a mic issue across StreamYard and YouTube. We'll correct those here momentarily. But Cole Cusimano, when you look at a guy like Alex Palou, who has 4 out of the last 5 wins, dominating, you got a guy like Kyle Larson dominating in the Cup Series. Something's got to break, or something's got to give in the comparisons of these two series, because when you have people that follow it for us, okay, we follow these series for a reason, because they're, for the most part, they are entertaining. But when you have domination by 1 or 2 teams in a series, it's not good. It's not a good look, for 1, and 2, it shuts out all those other folks that are rooting for those other drivers that can't seem to even sniff a freaking win. You follow me?
I definitely follow you. I mean, I'm somebody that kind of appreciates the dominance now, just being around the sport for so long and racing for so long. But I definitely agree with the general message that parity is a good thing for any series of racing, or any sport for that matter, because you want to see different teams, different players come to the forefront and be contenders. So it's something that I appreciate, but I know as a collective whole, it's not very welcomed by a lot of people.
No, when you have something like this, when you have guys running away with it, and okay, pump the brakes a little bit on Kyle Larson. He's not running away with it. All right. Mm-hmm. He's got 3 wins. He's not running away with the series. Alex Palou is running freaking away with it. I think he's 95 points ahead of second place, which in IndyCar is 3 or 4 races. This dude could set out the Indy 500, Detroit, and St. Louis, and still in 4 races be in the lead with his domination. That's just fugly, as the kids like to say. But with Kyle Larson, you just shut off another set of fans. You know what? Maybe I've got the battle going on inside my head, because Kyle Larson is so freaking popular. I get it. I understand that. This isn't like Chris Buescher. It's not a Brad Keselowski.
Mhm.
It's Kyle Larson that is so freaking popular that maybe it's just me that has some of that problem of Kyle Larson's dominance. Because, Crasher, we had this conversation. Richard, do we have our mic figured out yet?
It's just coming a little low.
Okay.
So we're okay across the Freak Radio Network. We'll
Okay.
fix it during the break. We only got a minute
Got it.
in the segment. So
All right, Crasher, it's what we've talked about. We're going to have to break here in about a minute and a half. It's what we've talked about with Jimmy Johnson, where we just wanted to sit back and watch greatness while others complained about Jimmy Johnson being so vanilla and not out there raising hell like a dominant championship contender or champion does. And I guess it's the same effect with Kyle Larson. He's not an a-hole, right? He's not pissing people off.
Kyle Larson speaks his mind still, though, which is much appreciated. But you're right. Overall, more often than not, he doesn't make people angry. And the same with Alex Palou. These are nice guys with complete domination and more talent in their pinky than I have in my entire body. We should figure out a way to appreciate this. If you're not one of those that already does, because this kind of domination, at least by Alex Palou, it's not very common. And who knows when this may happen again. And yeah, we were saying these exact same things at Jimmy Johnson's 5 consecutive championships. Absolutely.
Freak Nation, coming up, we're going to hear from Kyle Larson, your race winner from Kansas here in the Freak Nation. Also coming up, Josef Newgarden will be joining us here in the Freak Nation. And Alex Palou. And did I say? Yes, I did earlier. Harrison Burton will be here in the Freak Nation. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Cody, coming up in about 20 seconds, we're going to be going to a break. Cody back there behind the board, making us look so fine and pretty. Thank you very much, Cody, for doing this thing. Again, make sure you stick around. Kyle Larson joins us next. And coming up this hour, Alex Palou, a two-parter. He's so damn good. Coming up.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BACK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BACK to 42424. That's BACK to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
This is Worldwide Technology Race Mode. Not like other videos. It's 1.25 miles long, and no 4 turns are the same. One wrong move, and it can bite you. It's not your normal racetrack. Some racers love it. Some hate it. Champions respect it. June 14th and 15th is not just Father's Day weekend. It's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, this segment brought to you by good friends at Lucas Oil. A great website to check out is lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com to find a line of products to keep your motorcycle, your speedboat, that big old 67 Mustang you got out in the garage, on the road, fat and happy. Go to lucasoil.com. Kyle Larson with his third win of the 2025 season. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, both those dudes have half the race wins for 2025. And Cole Cusimano, we've got the post-race press conference with Kyle Larson and some highlights from that press conference.
That's right. Yeah. So Bob Pockris naturally kicked it off, and he asked, Kyle Larson, he raced high limit this past weekend, got into a pretty nasty wreck. A couple weeks before that, he also wrecked in his IndyCar on-track action, and yet he now has 4 straight top 5 finishes with 2 wins in that span. Here's what he had to say about not being fazed by all these wrecks in extracurricular racing.
I don't know. Maybe I've hit stuff enough. I have a short memory. My memory's faded, but I don't know. I do think it's because I race a lot. I'm guessing. I would say that that's a big part of, me being able to move on quickly from things, whether it's a good race or a bad race or, a wreck or good result, bad result, whatever, mistakes on track. Obviously, though, if it happens multiple times in a row, it can kind of linger a little bit longer, but more so just hurt your confidence a little bit. But I don't know. I think I just race a lot, so it probably helps.
Yeah. Let's go back to a 4-shot, Cody. Following that conversation up with Kyle Larson talking about, maybe I just wreck a lot, short memory. I can't imagine being Rick Hendrick, billion-dollar businessman, and so much is hanging on what Kyle Larson does. He says S like that. And he watches Kyle Larson figuratively is $1 billion product because it represents Hendrick Motorsports and HendrickCars.com. Mm-hmm. And when you see your freaking $1 billion bill flipping on the backstretch of a dirt track somewhere in the middle of America, and we laugh, but what that could injuring, I get it. I get why Joe Gibbs said no to this driver, no to that driver running dirt, because so much is invested in you. Mm-hmm. But Kyle Larson is just a different freaking breed than it. Kyle Larson would quit Cup if he couldn't run dirt, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I get your concerns because his teammate Alex Bowman got into a nasty sprint car wreck and obviously was sidelined with injuries. So, but what we've seen is that when he gets the extracurricular on-track activity, whether it be IndyCar, sprint car racing, it translates really well to Sundays. And we saw that front and center once again this Sunday at Kansas, put on an absolute clinic, past the 10,000 laps led mark, joining Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch as the only 3 active drivers in that category now. Wow. 60% of those laps led came when he moved to Hendrick Motorsports, and he's also now tied with Dale Jarrett in all-time wins with 32. Here is Kyle Larson on what makes him and Cliff Daniels' rapport work so well together.
I trust that nobody works harder than Cliff and the 5 team, and I think he knows that although I'm not at the shop all the time, that's me. He's trusting me that I'm working to be the best race car driver I can be, and allowing me to go race all the time and be as crazy busy as I am is only going to benefit us on the weekend. So yeah, it's been pretty amazing since 2021 and joining the 5 team, all the success we've had and all of that. So yeah, to surpass 10,000 laps is really cool, honestly. And they said that we've led the most laps at Kansas Speedway now. So yeah, really cool day.
Can I sue NASCAR to get a better PA system or better connection? for their press conference. That is just that audio.
Like a submarine or something.
Damn.
I just want to know why they're seated in such a way. Cole, have you gone to Kansas before? Because they look like they're having a therapy session. And like, hi, my name's Kyle Larson. I'm a raceaholic. I'm here for therapy.
Accurate. That's very accurate.
Actually, can I follow up on something that you were just talking about? Kenny, and it reminded me of something to go across sports. And so it's going to be a little bit different, but there's a reason we have never seen a two-sport athlete in any other sports, in any other professional sports outside of Kyle Larson. Granted, it's just different disciplines, but like since Deion Sanders, really, in the late 90s, when he's playing baseball and football at the same time, right? And that would never happen again now. Would never happen again because the liability of your Showtowny is $1 billion athlete right now, right? Juan Soto, nearly $1 billion athlete.
Yes, sir.
Kyler Murray, hundreds of millions of dollars invested in that quarterback, and he was drafted into Major League Baseball, and he will never see the light of day in Major League Baseball because of that. So, like, you compare it to other sports, and the fact that we get to see Kyle in so many different disciplines is pretty crazy. It really is. When you put it into that kind of perspective of like, there's so much at stake when he hops into something that isn't his actual like job on every Sunday. That's wild.
Freak Nation, coming up in moments, another gentleman chasing history. It's Alex Palou, who's won 4 out of the last 5, the first 5 races for the IndyCar series. He'll be joining us coming up next segment. Go ahead. Got one more soundbite?
I've got 2, actually.
All right. Well, let's get to one at least.
All right. Well, back to what we were talking about earlier and the lack of parity in the Cup Series now at this current car. This is the fastest Kyle Larson's gotten to 3 wins in his career in the Cup Series, and here's why he feels that.
I just think the next gen car, hasn't changed really since it's come out, and I think every team's kind of narrowing in on their setups, and we're no different. So, you learn the car, you learn the style, you just become better, especially when you are up front and leading laps. You learn how to lead a race, you learn how to execute all the little details. So, I just think the time and experience with the next gen car is probably helping the success early on in the year.
I like what he said there. He says he's basically saying, Rick Hendrick and his $1 billion and me, we have figured this GDAM car out while all you other slouchers are back there sucking hind boob, wishing you could be as good as we could. And I'm being a little flippant there. I think it sucks because a guy like Chris Buescher, who has plenty of skills, it's just not in the best equipment. Anybody want to argue with that?
No, that's exactly right. But it's that way in all motorsports, right?
Yeah.
It's that way in Formula One. It's that way in IndyCar. It's that way in drag racing. You are with one of the top teams, you will consistently be up front more. Will it always translate to wins? Not necessarily, but it's money. That's basically the bottom line. That
was what was so good about this next gen car for those first few years. It was the complete opposite. Where we were seeing Trackhouse Racing in their sophomore season in 2022 put Roush Chastain into the championship Final Four, right? And that will not even be close to happening this year, right? You're going to get Hendrick, you're going to get Penske, and maybe you're going to get a Toyota in there, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like we just know we can book it in, and it's a shame that that's what we're talking about now, as opposed to how great this next gen car was.
Are we going to get 16 winners?
No chance.
No way.
Ooh, interesting.
Think about this.
Okay.
In this era as my where are you from? New York.
New York, baby.
Yeah, where my New York. I don't know what kind of accent. Front row, Furniture Row and Martin Truex Jr. winning that championship. We will never see that again. A team that's based in freaking Colorado coming out and beating at the time, the Jack Roushes, the Hendricks, the Gibbs, the Ganassis, RCR. We'll just never see that again. And I think whoever said it, Richie, you, Crasher, I just think we're ready to move on to another car. We are so ready.
Yep.
Major League Baseball, National Football League, NBA to a degree, they come up with new rules to change their game. And something has to be done with this GDAM car because, for one, there are at least 3 out of 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know what Crasher thinks, but 3 out of 4 people that are in this studio that thinks today's race was average at best. Cole Cusimano.
Shorten the dang races too while you're at it. That's a whole other conversation. We can get to that conversation later.
Shorten them? Is that what you said? Yes, I
Shorten them.
agree.
Yes.
Something's got to happen. Something, and I'm seeing some of our comments. Don't be the old man. Don't be the grumpy old man. I'm not being the grumpy old man. I would be bitching about this 30 years ago. Damn it! If this was happening, if I was watching NASCAR like I do now, 30 years ago, I was. It was 2-wheel. It was drag racing for me, and it was chasing the opposite sex. That's what I would do on Sundays. Sorry, a little sideline there. It's okay. Is that uncomfortable, Cole?
No, not at all.
All right.
I agree. It's good. It's good stuff.
Freak Nation, going to call an audible. Let's go one more segment with this. Okay, we're going to get into who's better, Alex Palou or Kyle Larson. That's next. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios. Hit it.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
This is Worldwide Technology Race Mode. It's not like other videos. It's 1 1/4 miles long, and no 4 turns are the same. One wrong move, and it can bite you. It's not your normal racetrack. Some racers love it. Some hate it. Champions respect it. June 14th and 15th is not just Father's Day weekend. It's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-5222. That's 800-885-5222. Again, that's 800-885-5222.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio redefined.
Freak Nation, this segment brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Summer's coming. A lot of road traveling happening, right? Go to GeneralTire.com to find the right tires for your ride. That's GeneralTire.com. So we're going to do this. Kyle Larson goes out and wins 3 races, the NASCAR Cup Series for 2025. Alex Palou's won 4 out of the last 5. We caught up with Alex Palou this week prior to him winning the road course on Saturday. And we're going to get to this conversation somewhere in the next 20, 25 minutes. Who's the better driver? If you want to compare their series versus the other series. Let's don't take Kyle Larson and put him on there. Let's just compare the drivers in their series. But before we do that, here's Alex Palou with the Freaks at Lucas Oil Studios. All right, Freak Nation, he is back, and it seems like about every other week we've got Alex Palou here in the Freak Nation, 3-time IndyCar Series champion, chasing that Indy 500 win. But, of course, you've got the road course this weekend. But every time I walk into Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Alex, whether it's a NASCAR race, a sports car race, or the road course, I'm sorry, I still associate every time I walk to those gates as the Indy 500. It's never lost on me the significance of this track. Has it softened on you what this race means, Indy 500 means to a race car driver, given how many times you're on that track and in that huge sphere of racing? Or is it still just the special place for the Spaniard, Alex Palou, in the Indy 500?
I have a similar feeling to you. Like every time I enter the track, through the tunnel, I just get that feeling of like, oh, it's the best place for us. It's the best place on earth for us. That's where we spend the most time thinking on this race, on Indy 500. That's for the driver. That's for the team, especially building those cars and trying to get more speed. And those memories and the feelings of like having so much people at the track, which is what makes this event so awesome. They're still here every time I come, even on December that it's covered in snow and we come here for the drivers meeting at the end of the year. I just feel the same feeling. So it's great that it's finally May, it's finally happening, and I couldn't be more excited.
And this just came to me, Alex. There is not a sports series that I can think of, and I'm talking all sports, stick and ball and motorsports, where there's so much focus on one race. You have the Daytona 500, you have Monaco, you have the U.S. Nationals for drag racing. But how much memory does the Indy, or how much brain power does the Indianapolis 500 suck out of a race team for the entire season?
It's a lot. I can tell you it's a lot more than people can imagine, especially for the teams. I would say for the drivers as well. But at the same time, we need to try and forget for like some weeks about the Indy 500, because you still have like Barber, Indy Road Course, and you need to focus on those races as well. It still pays the same amount of points, but then you suddenly need to switch for the 500, which is the biggest one. But for the teams, it's huge. Like once we finished the Indy 500 in 2024, they were already thinking how to get a little bit better for this year. So I'm sure everybody in all the teams are doing the same. We have a different car for this race that they all like. I think we put music during the night for her just so she's happy, she's calm, and all that kind of stuff that we can do. We do everything to her so she's as fast as she wants to be that day.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to go into another direction here in a second, but what do you take care of more, your Indy 500 race car or your 1-year-old daughter?
My daughter. My daughter. Yes, my daughter. But I let my mechanics take all the time with our car to treat her as she deserves. But no, it's a same feeling. Like actually, when we talk about the Indy 500 car, we talk about the car as a baby. It's our baby.
Yeah.
It's our baby. We all want to do every bolt perfect, and that's not saying that on our road course car and our other races we don't do that. Like we still do that, but the 500 it's special. We know that can change our lives. That can change my life, can change my mechanic's life, my engineer's life, and everybody's. And we just want that so bad that we put all the good energy we have, we put it in that car.
Alex Palou joining us here in the Freak Nation. Crasher, help me out with the former owner of an IndyCar team. I saw him at Long Beach. He had the fat cigar, and he would go up.
Carl Haas?
Carl Haas. What Carl Haas would do, he'd go up and talk to the race car, talk to the nose of the car, and he would pet it. He would. It was as if it was his baby. Do you do that with your cars? And I'm not trying to be funny here because we're strange. We're strange people for certain things. Do you talk to your car differently?
We're all a little bit wired differently, I would say. Everybody that is in the motorsport world, media, drivers, like team managers, and everybody, we're a little bit crazy, but that's okay. Our fans as well, you guys are a little bit crazy, but it's a good kind of crazy. So I do not talk to the car, but I try and have a relationship with the car where I take care of her. Like I care for her. Like I don't know. I don't talk to her directly, but I do in a way. I don't know how to say it, but yes, I have special relationships with my cars.
On the grid, you just recite from the movie Jerry Maguire, help me help you. I mean, it's a mutual relationship here. It's all good.
Yes.
You alluded to Alex Palou, 3-time IndyCar champion. You alluded just a little bit ago to how your guys in the off season, the minute the Indy in 2024 was done, boom, they were thinking about 2025's Indy 500. But your guys, we've already seen the fruits of their labor from the offseason, how they tinkered with that road course car of yours, and how you guys have just been on rails for the 2025 season. What is different and what they're doing with your oval car? I mean, were there two separate teams, an oval team and a road course team in the off once we jump to this oval package?
No, it's the same. It's the same team, but I would say that we have a dedicated team at the workshop thinking and working on the 500 stuff while maybe we are on the way at St. Pete or at Thermal. Like they are still working on our 500 car. But then at the end of the day, my mechanics, the people that build the car, and my engineers, they are still the same. They are all the same for all year. What kind of stuff? At the end, it goes to basics. Like it's not special stuff. Like it's not, don't think that they go into a room and they start saying, oh, what if we do this or that? Like it's not special stuff. It's only like carrying and putting a lot of work into parts, like making sure that all the bodywork fits as perfectly as possible. Because when you're going 240 miles an hour in qualifying at the end of the straight, a gap that it's this small, like it can create a lot of drag and perhaps being a lot slower of a car. It's just small stuff like that. It's small details that at the end of the day, the only way you can get there is with time. It's with spending time with that, with those parts, spending time with that car, and just making it as good as we physically can.
Coming up, we have part 2 of Alex Palou, and something that he said in there, Cole Cusimano, would you elaborate on this real quick? He said, if I win the Indianapolis 500, it changes the lives of those around me. It changes my parents. It changes everyone that's associated with Alex Palou, their lives. I don't hear that from other series.
I mean, I feel like you kind of hear it sometimes with the Daytona 500, but there's just certain weight that's associated with the Indianapolis 500. As you heard from Alex Palou just there, you win that race, you are immortalized in motorsports history. So it's a very significant race, not just for him, but for, like you said, families, teammates, just in general. It's a big deal.
It's similar to what we've said in the past, how you don't see NASCAR drivers, IndyCar drivers going and running top fuel. or Funny Car. You'll see Funny Car and Top Fuel go run some other series or dirt series. And it's similar to, you just don't see IndyCar drivers doing one-offs for the Daytona 500 like you have with AJ Allmendinger, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson,
Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart going, well, Tony Stewart when he was actually doing it, but guys going from NASCAR to IndyCar versus IndyCar to NASCAR. It's just a different scenario. So it's not lost on me what Alex Palou is doing and how he's doing it. Something that Cole, you're going to have to remind me because my memory is getting there. Something that Cole said earlier in one of our texts about Alex Palou, wanting to or looking forward to hearing the Alex Palou interview, which tells me that Alex Palou is starting to get on a lot of people's radar on how great this guy is. Mm-hmm. Kyle Larson still steals the headlines, but Alex Palou and how he's freaking winning is bananas if you follow IndyCar. So we'll do that. Part 2 with Alex Palou, setting records in the IndyCar series for 2025, has yet to win on a freaking oval. More with Alex Palou coming up next. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
This is Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's not like other videos. It's 1 1/4 miles long, and no 4 turns are the same. One wrong move, and it can bite you. It's not your normal racetrack. Some racers love it. Some hate it. Champions respect it. June 14th and 15th is not just Father's Day weekend. It's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, we continue on with our conversation with Alex Palou. And next hour, we're going to get to the bottom of it. Who's better, Alex Palou or Kyle Larson? Part 2 of Alex Palou. Now, Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Alex, you are an astounding athlete. Just talking to you right now, you seem so calm and reserved and just very comfortable in your environment. You're at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we speak. But how itching are you? You've only had a little bit of a test session for the Super Speedway Oval. How itching are you to get in your oval package for the next couple of weeks and just freaking go?
Yes, I'm excited. Like, as you said, we got a little bit of a hint during the open test. That was like about a month ago, a little bit more. And you're getting excited, but you don't want. You're like, no, it's still a test, and I cannot get too excited. And now it's real. Now we're here. I just got my bags from my house, which I live like probably 30 minutes away, but I sleep at the track because it's like early mornings, late nights, and stuff. So it's official. Like, I moved to the IMS, and it's gonna be for the month. And I cannot wait to go on track. See the fans as well. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it real, though. Like, whenever you go for the first time on Tuesday, the first test session, there's fans in Gasoline Alley, and they just want to see you and they cheer for you. That's when you're like, okay, May's here, and the biggest race of the year, it's starting.
Yeah, what's really real, though, like you just said, you moved into your concrete neighborhood, the neighborhood of motorhomes and drivers and their families. I mean, you don't have pretty flowers in Carmel, Indiana anymore. This is real. How are you doing your morning breakfast? We've talked about this with you before. You are an over easy eggs guy. The reality of you want to still cook your breakfast. You don't have a chef necessarily. That's the real guy. Tell us about how you really do deal with the pressures of Indy. Even though they can be fun, there's a lot of pressure, but you still get yourself out to being dad, dad, husband, and race car driver.
Actually, like, I probably at the beginning, like my first couple of years, I was maybe more like, this is the 500 and I just need to have my time and I need to do this differently and I need to do the breakfast perfectly and my coffee perfectly. Now it's not like that. Now it's like, it's the 500, but I'm just going to do the same thing I do every morning. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have my cup of black coffee. I'm going to drink it. It's my time. Then the baby wakes up. I spend a little bit of time with the baby and my wife. Then I have breakfast and I go with my engineers and I start working. So I try not to overcomplicate stuff. At the end of the day, it's only a race. It's the biggest one, but it's only a race. And yeah, you need to keep it as simple as possible because it's a long month. It's an important month. And if you start overcomplicating it for yourself, it's not going to help.
You know, it sounds like you've always had great advice. I don't know if that's your parents, your grandparents, but is this a little bit of, it sounds familiar to Scott Dixon. Is this a little bit of teammate advice as well, that at least over the years that he's been able to give you?
I wouldn't say directly, but indirectly, yes. So I wouldn't say that suddenly Scott or Dario sat down with me and said, hey, Alex, you need to behave this way. But whenever you're capable or whenever you're lucky enough to be in the same room as big drivers and amazing champions like Scott and Dario, you learn. And also having Jimmy around the first couple of years was huge. Like just learning how they behave, how they think, how much time before the practice they put their fire suit on, how they prepare themselves, how they speak to the people, or how they treat the fans, like that stuff that you learn, and you start learning how they do it, and hopefully you get that way of acting like the real guys, like the best of the best.
Alex Palou joining us here in the Freak Nation, 3-time IndyCar Series champion. Of course, won the road course last year, and it continues to dominate 3 out of the first 4 races. There's these numbers that are coming out that you're chasing history, and AJ Foyt and Mario Andretti and Will Power and Alex Palou. All right, I get all that, but it's not lost on us. Many times you've come in here. You're from Spain. We know you're from Spain, but before you, there was Fernando Alonso. There was Pedro de la Rosa many years ago. Is there a brotherhood between Spaniard open-wheel drivers? Like, is Fernando on your speed dial when you win a race? Does he text you saying, "Nice job, Spaniard"?
No, that doesn't. I mean, yes and no. No, not every race, but yes. I would say that the 3 championships that I got, we exchanged a couple of messages. I would say that I have a closer relationship with Pedro now that you name it. But no, there's not this group chat that suddenly I win a race or I'm P1 in a practice and he's like, "Hey man, good job." Like, no, that doesn't. At the end of the day, we're both drivers, and we know that's what we love to do. That's what we have to do, and maybe one day we race again. If he comes back here at the 500, and there's going to be like no Spanish group chats or anything like that. It's only going to be who's faster on track.
Do you enjoy kicking Scott Dixon's ass more, or would you enjoy kicking Fernando Alonso's ass more on the track?
I would enjoy kicking Fernando's ass a lot more on track. Yes.
Like that. Remember, he and Scott are still neighbors and teammates. And
smart. And I've never seen this. Out of all the things I've read about you or listened to interviews with you, who are the drivers that you looked up to as a punk ass kid in a go-kart growing up? Who are your guys that you looked up to, idolized?
So at the beginning, like when I was very young, it was Michael Schumacher when he was in the Ferrari era. But then it's always been my dad. That's the person. He was not a driver, but he was still my coach, although he was not a driver. I think he was just either he understood the world of motorsport very quick, and he was able to teach me, or he understood how I was working and he was able to teach me. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yes,
I looked up to him a lot, and I still do to this day. Yeah.
Well, we play favorites here in the Freak Nation. We're not bashful. You know, we're not objective media members here, Alec. And
so I'm your favorite, you're saying?
I'm about to say you happy bastard.
Okay, I'm just getting excited. I'm just getting excited. Sorry. Okay, continue. That's it.
And so interested to join every time we ask 9 times out of 10 you're there, you time out. You some kudos, gold stars on that. We wouldn't hate if you yourself your first in 100 championship this year.
Thank you. I will give everything we have to try and win the Indy 500, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I think Honda has clearly had a masterclass of a season so far, but that Indy 500 has eluded them a bit. So you or Scott, let's go. Let's go.
You.
Alex, thank you, buddy, for joining us. All right, my friend. Good luck to you. We'll see you here in a week or two.
Absolutely. See you soon, guys.
See you, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, so out of this, 4-shot there, Cody. Out of this, the question is, who's better, Kyle Larson or Alex Palou? And again, you see, Richie, I know you put it up on X when it comes to asking the Freak Nation, who's better? Kyle Larson's running away, almost doubled up on the numbers from Alex Palou. And it's unfair to ask that question because Alex Palou is not as – it's a popularity contest. Come on. Crasher, put the mic to your face. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So to ask the majority of our Freak Nation following on X, who's more popular, it's kind of unfair. Richie, unmute. We are rolling.
Yeah, hello, there I am. Jiminy Christmas. I blame that on Cody. That was Cody's fault. Okay. Sorry, you can't defend yourself, so I'm going to do. I know we got to go to break, so now I don't have enough time to talk. Okay. Warphammer said this: Palou versus Larson. You have to define the actual question. Larson is the most versatile driver we've seen in an age. Palou's better in his element, which is narrower. And I said on Twitter, we got a reply from our friend Jess on Twitter, IndyCar savant, just like Crash is. And she asked me to put the parameters on it. I said, make it up as your own, whatever you want. I completely opened the question. So you're the Freak Nation. You decide what the parameters should be.
I'm trying to make Alex Palou the better of the two. I am trying. But it ain't working.
I've got an opinion on that.
Uh-oh. All right.
Tease.
Yeah. That's what we'll do, man. Coming up next, Freak Nation, you're going to hear from the 4 motorsports aficionados, Crash, Richard C., Cole, yours truly, on who we think is better, Kyle Larson or Alex Palou. You follow me? Cool. Also coming up, Josef Newgarden and Harrison Burton, second hour of the Freaks. Coming up, Speed
Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
What's better than 3 wins? With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
This is World Technology Raceway. It's not like other videos. It's 1 1/4 miles long, and no 4 turns are the same. One wrong move, and it can bite you. It's not your normal racetrack. Some racers love it. Some hate it. Champions respect it. June 14th and 15th is not just Father's Day weekend. It's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
I enjoy others singing karaoke, but no, I don't partake in much of that. Maybe my head.
I just feel the same feeling. So it's great. It's great that it's finally happening, and I couldn't be more excited.
When I show up to a NASCAR race, I want it to feel NASCAR. And when I go to a Formula One race, I sort of know what I'm getting into. I want it to feel Formula One. And I hope people have a sense of what an IndyCar race is.
I mean, you guys know my dad, right? He's kind of a hard ass. And so he'd get in my face. I'm 6, 7 years old. And he's like, hey, what are you doing?
I'm going to try a game.
On the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios, driven by General Tire. Rock on, baby!
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, coming up this hour, Josef Newgarden, two-time Indy 500 winner, two-time IndyCar Series champion. He'll be here in the Freak Nation as we get ready for the Indianapolis 500. He was actually in St. Louis selling some tickets for Worldwide Technology Raceway, which they've got the second race after the Indy 500. It's the go-to for the Freak Nation at WWTR. He'll be joining us this hour. Also, Harrison Burton, Full Speed is up and running on Netflix. The 2024 NASCAR Cup season revisited on Netflix. You can catch it. Harrison Burton's part of that. So we asked a question there, Freak Nation, and it's pretty broad. Alex Palou or Kyle Larson? As I've got snot dribbling down my nose. Who is the better driver? There are so many different parameters that we could install, but just flat out clean from their series, respected series. Who is the better driver? Richard C., what is our Twitter, as the kids call it, X account? Look at this point.
Nobody calls it X. That does not. Nope. That's,
it really doesn't. No one does.
Stop making that a thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. On the Twitter.com, pick one driver. Kyle Larson, Alex Palou. Right?
And that's all you asked, right?
That's it.
Just pick one driver.
Pick one driver, period.
Okay.
Not even a question mark. Kyle Larson, 62%. Alex Palou, 38%. That's at Speed Freaks on the vote.
Okay.
Wow.
As I said going into the top of the hour, I'm trying to pick Alex Palou, but I continue to have difficulty until I start to break down the actual cars. Car versus car. I'll get to that. Cole Cusimano, what's your take?
My take. If we are isolating this to just the series and discipline, I would be ignorant to not pick Alex Palou. And why I say this is because in this Kansas race, car, Kyle Larson lapped up to 20th by the end of stage one. And all I was saying to myself is, how is he going to choke this away? Whereas Alex Palou, I find myself saying, how is he going to win this thing? And you look at how he's done, not just this season, but in his career. We mentioned it at the top. 4 wins this season in 5 races. Lowest finish of second. That is absolutely absurd. But he's also a back-to-back champion right now. He's got 3 championships in 5 full-time seasons. There's no way I'm not picking Alex Palou. I'm sorry. But I will say this. I think that Alex Palou can go into a sprint car or a NASCAR stock car and do what Kyle Larson could do in those disciplines. So all around, Kyle Larson, but for their specific series, Alex Palou.
Crasher?
I think Cole nailed it. I don't think there's really much else to say in that regard. Alex Palou in tire preservation, Alex Palou in car setup and how he communicates to his crew chief in order to make things better when they need to be made better. Alex Palou is an open wheel genius, and we are watching it play out in front of us, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome to watch. But you're right. Could he get into a sprint car? I would love to see it. Honestly, I think of Alex Palou, the little that I know of him, and the very little time that we've actually spent with him. I pick up some signs like Tony Stewart, in which he could get into something else, and it'll take him a little bit, but he'll be a student of that something else sport. And once he masters it, look out. But will he jump into one? No, I don't think so. Will he go to Formula One next year with Cadillac is what people are beginning to talk about. Kind of hope not, but he has how should I phrase this? He has a decently easy clause in his Ganassi contract that will allow him a withdrawal to go to Formula One.
Richie, where do you land on this there? You're over there biding your time. Where do you land on this there, Skippy?
This is actually a lot tougher than people think it is. I think it really is, because if you think about their careers, they're actually kind of similar outside of one thing, which is Alex Palou wins championships, Kyle Larson does not.
Kyle has one.
He has one championship, and Alex Palou is going to win his fourth in 5 seasons, which that's the biggest deciding factor. But other than that, like, they're fairly similar. Palou has not won on an oval in his career in IndyCar. He has yet to win the biggest race in the sport, the Indianapolis 500. We were just talking about that a little bit ago. Cole, you put it out there, and I thought you hit the nail on the head. Like, you win the Indianapolis 500, and you are enshrined forever. Nobody remembers who won the 2011 IndyCar Series Championship. But you can probably name who won the 2011 Indianapolis
I was just
500,
thinking, who was
right?
that?
Like, sure.
Let's see. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Well, we don't need to go there. No, we don't need to go there.
But my basic point is, you remember who wins Indianapolis 500. You don't remember who wins championships, right? Or else Sam Hornish Jr. would be a bit much bigger name in IndyCar than he is. How about that bull crash, huh?
Attaboy.
Right. Actually, Sam Hornish Jr., of course, a guy who crossed over back into NASCAR as well. But going back to Kyle Larson, he is yet to win NASCAR's biggest race, which is the Daytona 500. And so I think the comparisons are like, and Kyle Larson, as I talked about before, is not very good at the super speedway discipline in racing, like Alex Palou on ovals. However, I would go, my pick is Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson has driven an IndyCar. He's driven in Indianapolis Motor Speedway 240 miles an hour and had that damn thing running up front with no power steering, something that is one of the toughest things to do. Only a few guys have done it and done it well. Tony Stewart being one of the few of them. He was the only one who went and finished top in both the 500 and the 600. And we know the talent that Tony Stewart is. So Kyle Larson is my answer.
How could I forget the 2011 season? Sorry, I had to look it up, and then I'm like, duh. The 2011 season ended on an absolute tragedy. It was Dario Franchitti who was the champion.
So for me, I'm still wavering. And I go back to my self 20 years ago and think, oval? Doesn't need to win an oval. Ovals. But as I started to study more NASCAR as I got older, and really just because I was forced to, because it was the behemoth, to have 30 NASCAR Cup Series drivers that can get within a second, sometimes 3/4 of a second, and all having to hit that one little spot on turns 1, 2, 3, and 4 in an oval, and all be, again, within the margins of a second. It's still pretty phenomenal that they can hit those marks on an oval. I'm not saying ovals are not important, but when it comes to open wheel race cars, they're not that important. Open wheel, the majority of those races are on road courses, street courses, and that's where the money is made. Okay, I understand the Indianapolis 500. We've created a monster here on this planet with the oval there at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but I would think Catalunya would be a tougher drive for any driver to race that track in Spain or Abu Dhabi. I know they're not running Catalunya now, but to run a road course, run and race a road course and do well on that road course is tougher to do at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway or at Charlotte or at Texas?
Okay. Maybe Charlotte, maybe Texas. Don't put Indy in there. Indy has different meteorologists standing on each corner. I mean, there are 4 different weather zones in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's just wickedly different. And the short chutes on the north end and the south end, those are different. So it's almost like it's you can barely call it an oval. I mean, it's flat when it comes. I mean, we're not talking banking on this particular oval, but how different each of the 4 turns are and how different the 2 short chutes are. You nailed it when you said monster. It's a monster in and of itself.
Can I go to Sean here on YouTube real quick? Sean says, what a joke. He has not won an oval. He should run the Daytona 500 and we'll see how great he is. Talking about Alex Palou. That's how easy IndyCar is. Sean,
really?
here's what I would tell you. Go ask Jimmy Johnson about that.
Right?
One of the greatest of all time. He goes to IndyCar and couldn't get a top 15 finish to save his life.
Here's the deal. And before the fan bases get all mad at each other, IndyCar's better, NASCAR's better. Well, this one's too easy. That one's too easy. No. The bottom line is it's apples to oranges. It truly, truly is. Each one of them is basically a spec series right now. All the cars in NASCAR are so damn similar. All the cars in IndyCar are so damn similar. But think about that. A technical spec series and you're having dominant performances, that tells you that the cream of your driver crop is out of the stratosphere. It's just what we're watching in both series is phenomenal. Now, again, let me get back to the apples versus oranges. You have champions from IndyCar that went over to NASCAR and just completely sucked. Dario Franchitti being one of them, Sam Hornish being one of them. And then you have championship guys from NASCAR that go over to IndyCar and for the most part suck. Jimmy Johnson. So no, we can't really truly make the comparisons because of how different cars drive. A NASCAR is going to get so loose and IndyCar is going to be tight more often than not. And IndyCar doesn't have freaking power steering. You take those arms and go into NASCAR and you're like, whoa.
Got a break, Crasher.
All right. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox.
Good. I still haven't convinced myself who's a better damn driver. I'm not going to do it now. I can't do it.
Find out in 2 weeks, the Indianapolis 500 when they go head to head.
Hey,
with your NASCAR
Harrison
points.
Full speed. Next, Speed Freaks Pittsburgh Result Studios.
Motorsports Radio redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squealed spots in your power steering system. It is a stop leak. It works.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor. which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BACK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BACK to 42424. That's BACK to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
This is Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's not like other videos. It's 1.25 miles long, and no 4 turns are the same. One wrong move, and it can bite you. It's not your normal racetrack. Some racers love it. Some hate it. Champions respect it. June 14th and 15th is not just Father's Day weekend. It's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Hey, Freak Nation, it's the first time that Harrison Burton's been in the Freak Nation, I believe. But it's not the first time a Burton's been in here. Harrison Burton, again, last year in the Cup Series and now kicking some ass in the Xfinity Series, joining us here in the Freak Nation. We're going to talk about Full Speed Season 2 coming up on Netflix in moments. But Harrison, I said this just before us going live with you. You've lived the life of several people, given where you've come from, to the Cup Series, to the Xfinity Series. Has your dad or somebody, maybe your mom, been a mental coach for young Harrison Burton through all the trials and tribulations?
I think everyone around me has, right? Like, I've got this great support system around me, whether it's my dad, whether it's my mom, my fiance. But yeah, I have. I've been through the ups and downs, man. I've lived a racer's life for sure, right? Of success. I've won at the highest level. I've been the guy that's been the most hyped prospect, and I've been the guy that, loses his job. So I've just got all this experience and all this, life experience, right, kind of going for me. And I think it's a big weapon for me. I feel more hungry, more motivated now than I ever have. I just want to be successful in this sport, and I know I can do it. That's the thing that's frustrating, but also encouraging, right? Is the days that you don't do it, you're like, why not? I know I can. It's a battle that I think a lot of racers go through. Something that I think, I didn't know this, right? But my dad went through, Dale Jarrett went through. So I had all these people reach out to me when I lost the Wood Brothers job. Like, hey man, this isn't over. You're 24 years old. Get back up on the saddle and go. And that's been, I think words that I've lived by, and now starting to see the results in the Xfinity Series.
Not that when you just said your age, it just reminded me of my story. This is not about me, but I do want to say this just real quick. At 24, I declared bankruptcy and moved out to Los Angeles to get an acting job. I mean, lo and behold, I got this gig through my agent, which was amazing 25 years later. But yeah, it's like nothing is over in your mid-20s. I mean, the world is still completely at your feet. And where you really impressed me after your Daytona win last year, and then making it into the playoffs, and then people did, that some of the media wanted to be like, hey, but you lost your ride. It's like your first reaction to some of those questions were, hey, I can't wait to take what I've learned in the Cup Series and apply it to this Xfinity ride. My mind was blown. I thought that's a guy that's going places. It's about the ebbs and flows and how you handle them.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's something that I think is one of my biggest strengths. And also, I was so lucky to have a great relationship with everyone at the Wood Brothers that it was no like, bad feelings, right? Like, they truly care about me. They still send me stuff. It's their 75th season. You can see right there. It's something that they sent me for, their 75th season. Or Leonard Woods built me RC cars that you can see in the background as well. So like I have a great relationship with that group, so it made it a way less bitter taste in my mouth, right? And it was really, to me, about self-reflection and what I can do to be better. And I feel I'm doing those things, to be better, and it's starting to show in the AM racing team. And we're turning that program around, which I'm super excited about, and we've got the right people over there. So yeah, not obviously for me, it's all been about moving forward and what's next. And that's been the biggest weapon of mine. And I've raced the best drivers in the world for the past 3 years. So I've learned a lot. And I feel I can take that with me to the future. And hopefully when I get back to the Cup Series, I'll be, ready to go again and understand and fire off with some pace.
Okay, yes, relationships matter, as you clearly already know at your ripe young age. But I'm going to go off of something else you just said right there. The best drivers in the world he raced against for 3 years. Formula One doesn't want to deal with that. IndyCar doesn't want to deal with that. Now we got an argument going with NHRA versus IndyCar on this whole Fox network. But that's what reality shows do. It's like, fine, you want to get to know us to find out who truly is the best athlete, the best driver, the best personality in this sport. Full speed. There it is. So what are we going to see from you, Harrison Burton?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Full Speed was such a cool opportunity, something that came together pretty late as I had won my way into the playoffs with 2 weeks till the playoffs started. So it was like, hey, you won this race, and now Netflix crew is going to follow you around for your everyday life. Get used to it. It's like, okay. So, it was really fun to go through that. And I'm really excited to see what they, how it's portrayed or how it's viewed. I've gotten to see the episode that I'm in, and just super cool for me to see my fiance or my parents or my sister or my friends or whoever may be on camera, because now it's on a Netflix show, right? And so to me, it's just such a great opportunity for myself, but also for our sport to really show the stories and what racing is about. It's so hard, and people that are listening or watching this show are obviously, invested in motorsports, so they get it, but it's so hard to explain to the everyday person why driving a race car is hard, because they can't go do it. They can't go, throw a football and I can do that and say, okay, yep, I'm not Tom Brady, but they can't jump in a race car. And so trying to convey that, I think, is hopefully what we did a good job of, what I did a good job of, and what it means to all of us, right? We're willing to do things that the average human wouldn't do just to go win a race, much less, keep your job or run, bet one spot better. I've seen guys, we watched Michael McDowell this past weekend crash running third, willing to put it all on the line to try and win a race. I've seen him do that same thing for 15th, trying to pass me too. So that guy races hard. And that's how all those guys are. It's just such a dog eat dog sport. And that's what makes it really special.
Oh.
Freak Nation, his name, Harrison Burton, joining us here in the Freak Nation Full Speed Season 2 Netflix debuts this week, again on Netflix. Of course, Harrison Burton was part of the 24 playoffs in the NASCAR Cup Series. And Harrison, you can't escape being Jeff Burton's son. You can't. All right?
As much as I wish I could. No, I'm kidding. But
Listen,
I'm kidding.
When we started Speed Freaks, we prided ourselves in being honest, and you saw warts and all, which, again, was unsettling to some people 20 years ago. When we said, Jeff Burton, come on here, Jeff Burton was himself. He that's who Jeff Burton is.
At the time, he was very vocal with us and not with other interviews. So it started. People would look around and go, "What?"
So there are two easy questions to ask you, and I'm not a low hanging fruit guy, but I am going to ask these of you because I'm an admirer of your old man. Tougher being your dad's son, or tougher following in your dad's footsteps through the series into the Cup Series?
That's a great question. Well, I'll say this. My dad was the best dad I could ever ask for. I grew up, my dad was my hero. Now, what that meant was when he got mad at me, or when he told me I wasn't doing good enough in the race car, or told me I needed to do this or that, it was personal for me, right? Because I'm like, dude, like, I don't know. felt different, right? So that was really hard, right? When my dad would, he was, I mean, you guys know my dad, right? He's kind of a hard ass. And so he'd get in my face. I'm 6, 7 years old, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And it created this level of intensity in my driving. I think it's definitely been a great thing for me. I handle adversity way better because of how hard he was on me in the race car. And I think that was the hardest thing that we've ever had to deal with relationship wise, was the arguments over racing. And it's not arguments, or I guess that was the wrong word, but him trying to teach me and doing it his way, which was pretty harsh, right? And so I really learned a lot from him in that way. Me and him are honestly best friends, right? Like, I call my dad and talk to him all the time. We just shoot the crap and go play golf or whatever, right? So I'm trying not to paint him in a bad light, because that's not what I'm saying. But my point is, it was challenging growing up, being, I guess, idolizing him and wanting him to be proud of me. And then he was always real. He was always like, "Hey, this isn't good enough." And that was always kind of a tough thing.
This has been awesome. We knew that people would fall in love with you once we get it out there. So, man, thanks for doing this. Again, Freak Nation, Full Speed Season 2, Netflix, debuts this week. Buddy, thank you, and good luck to you, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me.
And Freak Nation, coming up next, Josef Newgarden. What's he done? A couple of Indy 500s, a couple of IndyCar championships. He'll be joining us next. And Beat the Freaks. Did a freak beat the freaks? We'll get to that coming up in the last segment. Make sure you're hanging around, right? Follow us on X, or as the kids call it nowadays, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course the website, speedfreaks.tv. More freaks coming up. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
This is Worldwide Technology Race Mode. It's not like other videos. It's 1 1/4 miles long, and no 4 turns are the same. One wrong move, and it can bite you. It's not your normal racetrack. Some racers love it. Some hate it. Champions respect it. June 14th and 15th is not just Father's Day weekend. It's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-5222. That's 800-885-5222. Again, that's 800-885-5222.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Thank you, Lucas Oil, for making this thing possible. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com to check out a line of products to keep all your rides fat and happy. That's lucasoil.com. So, Josef Newgarden, who worked his way up from tail end of the field to a 12 spot in the road course race Saturday afternoon at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's got him 2 Indy 500 wins, 2 IndyCar championships. He's a badass. Guy's a freaking rock star. He was hanging out with our friends at WWT Raceway, promoting that race, which is 2 races after the Indianapolis 500. You want more GDAM ovals? You got it. Worldwide Technology Raceway, 2 weeks after the 500. Go buy a damn ticket. Go to www.raceway.com. Josef Newgarden now. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios. Freak Nation, he is back. Josef Newgarden, 2-time Indy 500 winner and 3-time WWTR Oval race winner, joining us here in the Freak Nation. And you're doing one of those snappy little PR tours for Worldwide Technology Raceway. I think it's just because you know how to steal all their damn money, Josef Newgarden, with those race wins there.
It's been a good track to us for sure. You know, we've always had good cars there. Historically, too, if you look at it for Team Penske, they've had a lot of success around that track. So, like coming here, it's a sports town, and you know they do a great job. So, yeah, excited that we're coming back in June this year, which is a change up in the date. It's gonna be on Father's Day. So, if you like going to the racetrack with your dad, or you need an idea for Father's Day, it's definitely gonna be, you know, one of those events you can think about now.
So basically, end of story right there. I mean, I know a lot of you IndyCar guys are dads, but now that weekend's going to be all about COTA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the plan yet for June, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have them there, and it'll be a fun time.
Oh, wait a minute. You say you don't know the plan yet for June. So COTA clearly doesn't travel, COTA being your son, of course, doesn't travel with you to every race. But when do you put your family plans together with your racing schedule?
Oh man, it's week to week. You know, a lot of times I try not to look too far past 4 weeks out, and then things get really dialed in 2 weeks out. And then in racing, there's always the week of changes. I feel like that's just the cadence. But 4 weeks out, it's hard to go past that, is what I found.
Oh, wow.
His name is Josef Newgarden, of course, 2-time Indy 500 winner, getting set for the road course, joining us here in the Freak Nation. And one thing that I want to touch upon is Chris Blair, of course, runs that freaking track. Okay, look, he likes to think he does with WWTR. And he's put a video out there, Joseph, about all these people talking about they want more oval races. Well, then show the hell up at these oval races and fill those stands, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, a lot of places that we go to, we see great support. You know, obviously Indy is its own thing. I mean, it's never been bigger in a lot of ways. It's really impressive. I mean, we're all excited for the month of May. Every year we get excited for it. And then I think, places like Gateway have been, or I call it Gateway, but WWTR have been well supported. I remember that year in 2017 when we came back. It was the first year I drove here. And my goodness, it was such a great atmosphere. So, yeah, I think it's hit or miss at times. But then, Milwaukee last year, I didn't know what we were going to get. And it was an incredible showing from everybody that came out. So, I love the balance. I'm always for that. I think IndyCar is it's the best of mixes. You're trying to get a nice mix between road, street, and oval. So we always need to have that. But we need to have, good oval events on top of the Indy 500. We always want to see that.
And I believe it's building. I really, truly do. I mean, we could say this from 10 years ago, from 20 years ago, whatever. The diversity in the IndyCar schedule is second to none. No other series can claim that. So I'm saying that to ask you, does it bother you sometimes? Like F1 was just in Miami, when people say the best drivers in the world are in NASCAR, the best drivers in the world are in IndyCar. I meant Formula One. Nobody has the diversity in schedule. Nobody has the mechanisms that you need to conquer in order to become a champion that IndyCar does. Does that sort of thing rub you the wrong way?
I mean, not really. I think it just, everyone's trying to plant their flag, right? It's marketing at the end of the day. Everyone's going to come up with their tagline. And so I got a lot of respect for all the championships that we have in the world. I like all forms of motorsport. I'm a motorsport fan. And when I show up to a NASCAR race, I want it to feel NASCAR. And when I go to a Formula One race, I sort of know what I'm getting into. I want it to feel Formula One. And I hope people have a sense of what an IndyCar race is. It's something that can be very captivating, especially if you go to, certain racetracks really bring the captivation. But yeah, that stuff doesn't bug me. I just think, we all need to be raising the ship up here for motorsports, and I think we're in a good spot. I really do. I like what everybody's doing at the moment. I think we've got some, good mix to go around, and the more action that we have going on, just as a motorsport fan, it's always more fun for each and every one of us.
Yeah, I think Grady Bernard was the president that said that a while back. All boats rise on a high tide, and it's true. We should be embracing if NASCAR's ratings go up, if NHRA's ratings go up. So yes, that is good for all of us overall. You mentioned captivation. We all want to be captivated. Joseph, how can any of the Chevy teams captivate us moving forward, starting now in May through the rest of the season, to kick the Honda cars to the side? I'm not just saying this is a Palou problem. I'm saying Chevy versus Honda. Let's go.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I look at the setup. I think we've had a really good start 50% of the way. Our street course cars have been excellent. I really think we had race-winning cars in St. Pete and Long Beach. Barber, we weren't as strong as we wanted to be, and certainly not in thermal. So, if I just look at the pure performance, then it's been 50-50 at the moment. And I could have seen us, having different race weekends in St. Pete and Long Beach where a victory is very much in potential or the cards for us. So, it's early in the year. It's always a process of the two of us. I think Chevrolet has brought a really strong package for us. I don't really think we're missing much. And then on the team side, we've got to make sure we're delivering great race cars. And I think we're in a process of, trying to find a better road course car at the moment. But our street course car, I have nothing to complain about. I mean, it's been one of the best street course cars I've ever had. And I think our oval cars will be in good shape too. So, it's a long season. It's been a slower start for us. And, for us, we've got to try and, turn the tide a little bit here as we go into the future.
Hey, Joseph, one of the things that I like what you say is you want to be the greatest IndyCar driver ever. But you've got to be admiring what Alex Palou is doing, regardless of that freaking power plant that he's got. You, as a competitor to Alex Palou, do you admire what he's doing, or more so do you want to kick his ass because of what he's doing?
It's probably both. I mean, I have a lot of admiration for Alex. I think he's a great guy. Got to know him a little bit. He's a good competitor, and I always like people that operate like Alex. He's just kind of doing his job, and he loves to win. And he's consistent. He's there every weekend. So I like competing against people like him. He reminds me a lot of, from a competition standpoint, he reminds me a lot of Pato. When I race these type of guys on track, it's always fierce. Like, it's always kind of to the limit, but not over it. And so, yeah, he's a fun competitor to go against. I also just, I like us having the best of the best. It's not meaningful when you find success unless you have, what you believe is the best from all over the place. So Alex very much adds to that mix. They've got a good thing going on right now. I think their team's executing at a high level, and Alex is executing at a high level. So, if we can get ourselves in the right position and start finding some success ourselves, then it makes it feel, a lot more enjoyable.
Does his kid still hate your kid's book?
I'm pretty sure his daughter has my book. I think she loves it, but it's all that marketing fun. That's the best part of the commercial right there.
I agree. Either that or the whole Tom Brady reference. I was just blown away with that. So good.
Hey, Joseph, I know you're headed to the airport, but coming up next year in Arlington, Texas, IndyCar will be running, and I think you might need to change your tune a little bit about Whataburger. Whataburger needs to become your favorite freaking burger when you head to Texas, my friend.
No.
Respect to Whataburger. It's not my spot. It is not my spot. I picked up Five Guys again recently, and I gotta say, Five Guys makes a really good burger. I'm very impressed with their burger situation. So that's where I've been going these days.
Nothing with. Does Five Guys carry Good Ranchers? There's got to be something carried in there with the Penske sponsorships.
I don't know that we do, but they should. Good Ranchers, they bring the meat, as everybody knows. Scotty carries the wagon. So if you're at home, if you're not out and about, definitely get your Good Ranchers.
All right, Freak Nation, Josef Newgarden, two-time Indy 500 winner, two-time IndyCar Series champion, and Cole Cusimano. How many wins at Worldwide Technology Raceway? Five race wins at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets now. www.raceway.com. I'm in shock, Freak Nation. Someone just shared something with me that just blew me out of the water that I'm not going to share with you until we get his happy ass on camera because he needs to be roasted. More freaks next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
This is Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's not like other videos. It's 1 1/4 miles long, and no 4 turns are the same. One wrong move, and it can bite you. It's not your normal racetrack. Some racers love it. Some hate it. Champions respect it. June 14th and 15th is not just Father's Day weekend. It's the Bommarito Automotive Group 500.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With straight savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, go to GeneralTire.com to find the tires for your rides, man. A lot of summer travel coming up. Make sure you're on a new set of rubbers from General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. You missed any of the show, you can catch it tomorrow, Monday, or right now if you're watching it on Racer Network, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. For more information, be sure to follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Speed Freaks, the website speedfreaks.tv. And if you do follow us on Twitter, you know that we do Beat the Freaks, 4-Shot Cody. You know that we do Beat the Freaks Fridays or Saturdays. We log it up there, and you guys can be a part of a chance to win a set of General Tires, Freak Nation. That's why every Sunday night we have Beat the Freaks. And Cole Cusimano pulls out the abacus because he'd rather use an abacus than a computer.
An abacus.
Than a calculator. I'm telling you, I am stunned at a conversation we've had off mic with Cole Cusimano and Cody Big Johnson. Who's
ridiculous.
It is. I'm stunned.
Crash could hear what we were just talking about.
I mean, I want to walk off this set and just go to sleep. It is incredible.
Crash would be really, really upset.
Yep, she would. She would. That's so true.
It's in reference to racing, by the way, nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's don't tell her about it because it'll reverberate through that community where she is, and she will not be able to get on the plane. Ooh. If some people find out that there's an individual here, part of the Freak Nation, said this off. Nothing. Nothing. It's what wasn't said about Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Indy 500. Nope. All right, so Beat the Freaks, Freak Nation. What do we got here? Who did one of us come with success, or did we get our ass kicked again by a Freak Nation member? They taking home a set of General Tires?
Go ahead, bring it up, Cody, because look who won this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks.
Let's go. That's right. That if you're listening to us in the Freak Radio Network, that says Richie with 150 points, smoking everybody out of the water, including Harrison Burton with 119 and Moonracer 75 with 108. Thank you very much, Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell.
That's a three-peat, by the way. Three-peat for Richie.
3 in a row for me. Yeah.
We need to put some music to that because that's kind of lame just putting up that graphic. I need to give you some freaking music. Yes, it was, Crash. It was his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Bring that back up there, Cody. All right, so Richard C. Suave with a three-peat with 150 points. Our challenger, Moonracer 75, 108. Harrison Burton, $1.19. Cole Cusimano, 65. Crasher at 58. Yours truly at 83. Richie had Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. It doesn't even really matter who your third pick was. Who was your third pick?
It was Chase Elliott, the most popular driver in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Wow.
Who got screwed over, man. He was having a great... Okay. I don't know if we have enough time here, but
we got plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. Okay, well, he got screwed over big time because I know this is a conversation in our chat earlier, but he was coming, and he was coming quick. He was going to easily get past Kyle Larson at the end of the second stage there because he managed his tires so much better and was so much faster. And then we had to have that ridiculous stage caution to go and ruin everything. So Chase Elliott had a really good shot at winning this race, and then he botched a pit stop in the last stage of the race. Went back to like 15th and then couldn't pass anybody else despite having a top 3 race car all day. So Gen 7 in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, and NASCAR in a nutshell is the trials and tribulations of the most popular driver in the NASCAR Cup Series, Chase Elliott.
Well,
but it was good enough to give me the win, so thank you.
Coming up this weekend, Freak Nation, you'll get another shot with the highly anticipated All-Star race. And I joke that it is the highly anticipated All-Star race. Even people inside of NASCAR are not excited about this race. Our own Cole Cusimano is thoroughly not excited about this race. Or Cole?
No, I'm the biggest NASCAR snorkeler there is. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the thing, honestly.
Yeah.
I am not looking forward to it at all.
Well, I hope you do because we have a show that night, you bastards.
No, I'll watch it obviously, but I don't want to watch it. It's so dated and just so I'm over it. It's done.
So how do we again, Richie, describe the excitement of last year, how we had the whole 2-hour show pre-planned. We probably had about 6 pre-tapes ready to go until about the last 60 seconds prior to us going live. What happened?
Yeah, I think we were literally about to go live when the race had just wrapped up about 15 minutes prior. And we're like, all right, cool. That was not great. That wasn't a lot of fun. And then we saw Kyle Busch starting to meander over towards awaiting Ricky Stenhouse Jr. by each of their haulers. And I turned to Kenny just prior to going live on the show. And I said to everybody in the room, I said, please, somebody throw a punch. Somebody do something. And I called that so easily. And it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s Punch Heard Around the World. Thank you. Our show is booked for 2 straight hours. And it was one of our most popular shows of 2024.
Well, Crasher, I'm sure that the excitement of Bump Day will occupy maybe 4 or 5 minutes of our show on Sunday night, right?
Do I have to remind you again that it's also poll day? I mean, yes, this weekend that we're in right now used to be poll weekend, but no. It's Sunday now of the one and only qualifying weekend that is left for the Indy 500. Sunday is both. It's now both Bump Day and poll day. So you're going to have, you have what? Everything is guaranteed except for the top 12 or the top 9. Everybody qualifies on Saturday. And then the spots are guaranteed. Every spot is guaranteed except for the last row, which will go through a Bump Day process on Sunday. And the top 3 rows. I'm really confused right now. It's either the top 3 rows or the top 4 rows. They either save the fast 9 or the fast 12. And then eventually whittle that down to the fast 6 that go for the poll. So yes, Kenny, there's excitement coming on Sunday.
Okay.
I actually am with Crasher. I think Indy 500 qualifying is going to be great because the way they do it is really sick, and you all get the 4 laps. And it's the competition is going to be close this year. Josef Newgarden, there's a lot of storylines set into this year.
Manufactured
what?
Just give me the fastest damn car out there on pole.
Kenny, they're going 240 miles an hour. What is not to be excited about? Yeah. I'd 11 out of 10 times would rather watch that than whatever the crap NASCAR puts on in North Wilkesboro.
Okay, is that what we're talking about? Okay, I understand that.
Yes, that's what we're talking about, yeah.
But pole bump day is a manufactured day. What was it prior to this, Crasher? Back when there were 45 cars trying to get in on that field. Huh?
It was Saturday, Sunday of this particular weekend, and then Saturday, Sunday of the next weekend, the weekend before the race, and you basically you filled the field, and then in your extra time, your
Yes.
That's why the last Sunday used to be bump day, because that was your final chance to bump yourself into the field. But don't get me started on how convoluted qualifying used to be. You could only set the pole on the first day of the 4 days of qualifying. You could only bump on the last day. So yeah, and there were many other convoluted things going on. In that, if you were a second day qualifier, but your qualifying speed was 237 miles per hour, aka our line dike, you will not get on the pole because you didn't do that time on pole day. So yeah, trust me, you want the fastest guy on pole, but some years that wasn't the case.
Happy Mother's Day, ladies and gentlemen. And happy Mother's Day to that woman right there for supplying us with a great, fantastic rant. Love that. And I mean it all honesty. Her freaking passion for open wheel is bananas, right? Cool.
You're only frozen on the YouTube there, Crash. Yeah, you're frozen on the YouTube, but we can hear you. You sound great on the YouTube, and you look even better on the Racer Network, of course.
Yes, you do. No, we're good to go. Again, we'll get these things. We'll get the freaking mice out of the system eventually before Dover comes around.
That's right. Miles, baby.
Oh my gosh. Freak Nation, I don't know if I'll be able to recover with some of this off the mic conversation. I'll tell you later. All right, Freak Nation. We'll do it again next Sunday night after a thrilling all-star race and an even more thrilling bump qualifying pole maximizer Indy 500 bump day. Promise. Speedfreaks.tv. See ya.
Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio.